Picture this. You're at a bar. You see your friend talking to a woman you like. He's normal looking. His jokes are not very funny. He has a coffee stain on his shirt, but she is touching his arm, playing with her hair and sitting very close to him. 20 minutes later, they leave together. You are still trying to find the perfect first thing to say. You go home and ask yourself the same questions. What does he have that you don't? What is his secret? Why do some men make women feel strong desire while you are just a friend even though you do everything right? What if I told you that your friend doesn't know any special tricks? What if I told you he is not doing anything on purpose that you cannot do? He is just accidentally setting off deep psychological triggers that create strong, natural desire in women. And what if I told you that once you understand these triggers, you can set them off too, not by being fake but by becoming a truly attractive man? Let me change everything you think you know about making a woman feel good with one simple idea. A woman will ignore a guy who treats her like a queen and texts good mornings every day, but she will constantly message the guy who didn't reply to her message. She will lose interest in the man who tells her she is beautiful every hour, but she will not stop thinking about the man who hardly saw her new dress. You heard that women need to feel good about themselves, and that is true. But you completely misunderstood what that means. You think it means you should praise her, make her feel safe, make her feel special. Wrong. Completely wrong. That is how you kill her interest faster than telling her you live with your mother. Women don't just want to be praised. They want to work to earn praise from a man whose opinion actually means something. There is a huge difference. If you don't understand it, you will always be confused about why being nice doesn't lead to romance. Think about social media for a moment. When a woman posts a picture, she doesn't care about likes from random men who just want to get her attention. She gets thousands of those. They mean nothing. But when that one man she is interested in, the one who never likes anything, who seems very independent, finally gives a like, it makes her very excited. She will take a picture of it, think about it deeply, and tell her friends. Why? Because his approval is rare. It is valuable. It must be earned. And people only value what they have to work for. This is why being a nice guy is so unattractive. When you freely give your approval to every woman, your approval becomes worthless. You are like a participation trophy. Everyone gets one, so no one wants one. But when you are careful with your approval, when a woman has to work to get your attention, then being with you feels like winning a gold medal. The funny and cruel part is this. The more you try to make a woman feel good, the less valuable your approval becomes. But the more you focus on your own life, your own standards, your own choices, the more your approval becomes something worth chasing. Women will actually compete for the attention of a man who doesn't need theirs. Every average woman has many men in her messages telling her she is perfect. She has too much approval from men she does not respect. So when she meets you, if you are just another guy telling her she is beautiful, you are background noise. You are nothing. She will forget you immediately. But if you are the guy who makes her work for your attention, who doesn't immediately like her just for her looks, who has standards she must meet, suddenly you are different. Suddenly you are important. Suddenly, being with you means something, because not everyone can have you. The game of approval has completely changed in the time of social media. Women get more outside approval than ever before in history. But they are also more insecure than ever. Why? Because deep down they know that approval from desperate men means nothing. They know those likes and comments come from men who would say the same thing to any woman. That approval is like junk food. It fills them for a short time but leaves them hungry for something real. When you understand this, you see why the old-fashioned gentleman way of dating fails so badly today. Your flowers, your compliments, your constant attention. You think you are showing you care, but you are actually showing that you are desperate. You are showing that you have nothing better to do than follow her around, hoping she will see your love and give you sex in return. But love without value is just desperation that looks pretty. This leads directly to something even more powerful: competition anxiety. Here is a truth that will change how you see female psychology. A woman would rather share a high-value man than be the only one with a low-value man. She will forgive you for being with another woman faster than she will forgive you for falling in love with another woman. And she will want you more when she thinks she could lose you than when she knows she has you for sure. You want to know why? Because for millions of years of evolution, the biggest danger to a woman's survival was not her man sleeping with another woman. It was him falling in love with another woman. Sex is just sex. But love? Love means he gives his resources to someone else. Love means his protection goes to another. Love means she and her children could be left alone. This ancient programming is still active in modern women's minds. They can handle you having physical desires for other women. That is just nature. But the idea of you giving your emotional energy, your resources, your real care to another woman, that sets off a deep fear that ignores all logical thought. When a woman sees another attractive woman laugh at your joke, touch your arm, or clearly like you, something ancient wakes up inside her. She doesn't think, he's a player, I should avoid him. Her brain thinks, he is the prize, I need to win him. The competition doesn't make her run away. It makes her try harder. Her attraction system is built to value men that other women have approved. If other women want you, her primitive brain assumes you must have better genes, more resources, or better protection skills. In ancient times, the man who multiple women wanted was probably the strongest hunter, the best protector, the leader. Evolution made women feel a powerful attraction to that man. Pre-selection is the most powerful tool of attraction. When a woman sees other women competing for your attention, her whole behavior changes. The same woman who was putting in little effort suddenly changes. She starts contacting you first, making plans, doing things she doesn't normally do. But here is where most men completely fail. They try to fake it. They talk about women who don't exist. They make up stories. Women can sense this desperation from very far away. And it has the opposite effect. Real competition happens naturally when you are genuinely building a life that multiple women would want to be part of. The paradox is beautiful. The less you need one specific woman, the more she needs you. The more real options you have, the harder she will work to be your best option. Security kills sexual tension. Competition creates it. This competition drive explains why women are often most attracted to men at the worst possible times. When he's in a relationship, when he's leaving town, when he's emotionally unavailable. It's not that women consciously want drama or problems. It's that scarcity and competition trigger ancient programming that says, this man is valuable, other women want him, I need to get him before they do. Watch how differently a woman treats you when she knows other women are interested in you, versus when she thinks she is your only option. When she is your only option, she has all the power. She can make you wait, test your limits, push to see how much you will accept. But when she knows she is competing, suddenly she is on her best behavior, starting intimacy, being agreeable, trying to make sure you choose her. The same woman, completely different behavior, all because of competition anxiety. This is why the worst thing you can do is make a woman feel like she has completely won you. The moment she feels totally safe, the game is over. The excitement dies. The sex becomes routine. She starts looking for a new challenge. Not because she is bad or ungrateful, but because her attraction system is built to value what she might lose more than what she definitely has. Now, here is where things get very interesting. Every woman you have ever met is fighting a battle between her mind and her biology. And after age 24, her biology starts winning. This isn't about whether she consciously wants children or not. This is about millions of years of evolutionary programming that becomes very strong when her biological clock starts ticking. When a woman reaches her mid-20s, her whole attraction system changes. At 21, she could date the poor artist with good hair and a motorcycle. At 27, that same man makes her uncomfortable because her brain is screaming that he can't provide for children. She doesn't consciously think this. She just suddenly finds stability attractive and calls it maturity. Watch how women's dating profiles change with age. At 22, loves adventures and spontaneous trips. At 28, looking for something real with someone who has their life together. Translation: her biological clock is ticking so loudly she can't hear anything else, and she needs someone who can provide both good genes and resources. Now, this creates a difficult paradox. Women are attracted to two different types of men that rarely exist in the same person. They want alpha traits, dominance, physical strength, confidence, the ability to succeed among other men. But they also want provider traits, career stability, resources, emotional availability, potential for long-term commitment. The alpha triggers their primal response. This man has superior genes. The provider triggers their response. This man can make sure my children survive. Young women think they have time to find both in one man. Older women realize they might have to choose, and that internal conflict is very difficult for them. A 35-year-old successful woman will be with the 25-year-old personal trainer, but never introduce him to her friends. He has the alpha traits that make her body respond, but he lacks the ability to provide that her biology demands. Meanwhile, she will date the boring executive who doesn't excite her because he represents security. The biological need becomes even stronger as women get closer to 30. Suddenly, the same woman who spent her 20s exploring and finding herself becomes very focused on finding a good partner. Her standards both go up and down. She needs higher quality genes and resources, but she is willing to accept things she wouldn't have at 22. This creates an opportunity for men who know how to present themselves. You will notice women in this phase start asking different questions. Instead of, "What do you do for fun?" it's, "Where do you see yourself in 5 years?" Instead of, "Want to hang out?" it's, "What are you looking for?" They are not being cold and calculating, they are being biological. Their body is filling them with hormones that make them see every man as a possible father, not just a date for Friday night. This is why relationships with an age difference often work when the woman is in her late 20s or early 30s and the man is older. He has had time to develop both the alpha traits through experience and confidence and the provider traits through his career. He is the complete package her biology wants. Meanwhile, men her own age are still trying to choose between being the player or the provider, not understanding that women want both. But beyond all these triggers, there is something even more basic. A man who isn't building something is dying. Not physically, but in spirit. And women can sense that death on you from across the room. Every man who has ever truly attracted a woman was in the process of building something. His body, his business, his skills, his empire, his legacy. It doesn't matter what. What matters is that he is building, because building is the most important drive of masculinity. And women are biologically programmed to be attracted to builders. Think about what building signals from an evolutionary view. A man who is building is focused on the future. He has vision. He has discipline. He can wait for reward. These aren't just attractive qualities. They are survival qualities that meant the difference between dying in winter or living for generations. The man who built better shelters, who improved hunting methods, who created new tools. He was the one who survived and protected his tribe. That ancient programming is still active in every woman's attraction system today. This is why women lose respect for men who stop growing. You got the promotion and stopped trying. You built a good body and stopped improving. The moment you stop building, you start dying in her eyes. Not because she is shallow, but because her primitive brain sees lack of growth as weakness. Women aren't attracted to what you have already built. They are attracted to the fact that you are still building. The billionaire in a romance story is still conquering new industries. The athlete she dreams about is training for the next championship. A man working in construction who is building his own business on the side is more attractive than a rich kid spending his father's money. When you are actively building something, everything about you changes. Your posture gets better because you have purpose. Your eyes become sharper because you have focus. Your energy becomes magnetic because you are using your masculine energy to create instead of letting it become anxiety. The modern world has tried to kill this drive in men. It tells you to be satisfied, to be content, to stop trying so hard. Work, life balance, self-care. You are enough as you are. This is poison to your masculine core. You are not meant to be balanced. You are meant to be building. Women understand this naturally, which is why they are turned off by men who have given up. The 40-year-old playing video games all day isn't just unattractive because he is lazy. He is unattractive because he is going against the basic masculine rule. He is not building anything. He is just existing. And existence without growth is death. The building instinct is what separates boys from men in women's eyes. A boy uses up entertainment, pleasure, comfort. A man creates value, structure, legacy. A boy takes what exists and uses it. A man imagines what could exist and makes it real. This is why women test men with offers of comfort and a quiet life. They need to know you won't stop building once you have them. They need to know your drive comes from inside you, not from trying to impress them. When you are building something important, you don't have time to think about women all the time. You don't have energy to waste on games and tricks. You are too focused on your mission to be needy. This creates a natural abundance mentality that women find very attractive. You are not trying to be mysterious or hard to get. You are genuinely busy creating something important. That realness cannot be faked, and women can feel it immediately. The builder's energy is what makes women want to support you, not distract you. They want to be part of your mission, not become your mission. They want to be with the man who is changing the world, not the man who is waiting for the world to change. When you have this builder's drive, sex becomes a celebration of your life force, not a goal you are desperately trying to reach. Let's be completely honest about what just happened here. I didn't just give you dating advice. I gave you the psychological code that controls female sexual desire. These aren't just opinions or theories. These are biological needs that have driven human mating for millions of years. You now understand what 99% of men will never understand. Women don't feel desire for your nice guy act. They feel desire for approval they have to earn from a man whose opinion matters. They feel desire for men that other women want. They feel desire for the perfect mix of strong genes and provider potential. And they feel desire for men who are too busy building empires to worship them. These triggers are not separate strategies. They are connected forces that create a sexual magnetic field around you. When you understand and live all of them, you become the kind of man women cannot stop thinking about. But here is what separates the men who will use this knowledge from the men who will just watch this and go back to their old ways. Using this requires you to fundamentally change who you are. Not fake it, not act it, but actually become it. You have to become genuinely valuable so your approval matters. You have to build a life that naturally attracts multiple women so competition is real. You have to develop both strong alpha traits and provider potential. And you have to stay dedicated to building something meaningful so you give off that masculine creative energy. This is not a quick fix. This is not a pickup line. This is about rebuilding yourself into the kind of man who naturally sets off these psychological patterns without even trying. The kind of man who doesn't need to learn game because he is the game. Most of you will not do this work. Most of you will look for an easier way, a shortcut that lets you stay exactly who you are while getting different results. That's fine. The dating world needs less successful men for the successful ones to stand out. But for the few of you who are ready to stop consuming and start becoming, who understand that attracting women is just a side effect of becoming a high-value man, you now have the plan. The information I just gave you is worth more than every dating course, pickup program, and relationship book combined. Because while everyone else is learning tricks, you are learning the basic laws that make those tricks work. While they are memorizing lines, you are becoming the kind of man who doesn't need them. While they are acting confident, you are building real self-worth that shows in every interaction. This knowledge comes with responsibility. You now understand female psychology at a level that most women don't even consciously understand about themselves. You see the system. You understand the code. You know why they do what they do, want what they want, and feel what they feel. This isn't power over women. It's power over yourself to become what naturally attracts them. So, here is my challenge. Don't just watch this and agree. Either commit to using these principles completely or admit you are not ready for this level of change. There is no middle ground. You are either building yourself into a man women dream about, or you are fading into being unnoticed. If this showed you truths you felt but couldn't explain, if it explained patterns you saw but couldn't understand, then share it. Comment below which trigger hit you the hardest. Which one explained your past failures? But don't just comment, commit. Remember, women want to be with men who understand their psychology. You now understand it. The only question is whether you will use this knowledge to become that man, or whether you will let another year pass, wondering why she chose him instead of you. The clock is ticking. Every day you wait is another day You are not the man you could be. Another day women are choosing someone else. Another day you are living below your potential. The knowledge is in your hands. The choice is yours. But choose fast. Because while you are thinking about it, the men who took action are already with the women you are afraid to talk to. You know what to do.